Welcome to a brand new podcast. And as always, this is the Oracle 19. And my name is Mr. Greatness. For any business inquiries, if you want to put your brand, your business on this platform, you can email us evolutionoflondon@gmail.com or the Oracle19 at the Oracle19radio.com. And definitely someone will be able to help you with your needs and expand your brand. We do quite a few things as far as marketing. From logos, websites, creating videos for your business, and much more. So you can email us at either of those two emails. You can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is evolutionoflondon.com. We have a whole wide range of products from men's, kids, ladies' clothes, house products, cologne, perfume, and much more. So that's evolutionoflondon.com. Also evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G, for custom clothes, accessories, and digital products such as EBooks for personal as well as business use. And finally, evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-O-R-E, for custom sneakers, DVDs, games, and much more clothes. So evolutionoflondon.store. We have different links to other affiliates, www.linktree.com/Evolution of London. You can support us that way. Definitely will appreciate that. And if you want to make a donation to the podcast, that's evolutionoflondon@gmail.com via PayPal. Definitely a free will offering as we continue expanding worldwide. Over 72 countries that listen to us worldwide every Monday and Thursdays, pre-recorded, and our news channel every Sunday. So definitely keep supporting the brand, and we definitely thank you. And we have a Patreon channel, which we have videos that's not posted on YouTube, digital artwork, and we do consulting services as well. www.patreon.com/Evolution of London. And we on Rumble, rumble.com. Just type in the Oracle 19 on Rumble. And finally, www.theoracle19radio.com. Check out the company Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles, 100% soy wax, 12-ounce jars, from scented to unscented. Not as scented candles is from frankincense, myrrh, jasmine, eucalyptus, just to name a few. And if you want to place an order for these luxury candles, over 35 plus burning hours, you contact Royalty9 International at gmail.com and you can place your order. You'll find them on Instagram and TikTok. Royalty9 International. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. So if you want to book a consultation, you email him at healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. That's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And I need your guys also to support his merch. www.wjaaccessories.com for custom clothes, accessories, and digital products as well. DJ Panthro. He's an international DJ, and if you want to book for him to come to your venue, email him at djpanthro519 at gmail.com. That's DJ Panthro, Panthro 519 at gmail.com. And also you can check him out on YouTube, DJ Panthro 519. You will find his website there as well. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to DJ Panthro 519 on YouTube. You'll find him on Instagram and TikTok. The Real DJ Panthro. That's the DA. The Real DJ Panthro on TikTok. Music. Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. We have a whole wide range of different beats. So once you go to his YouTube page, you will see his other social media sites. So like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And continuing to train on YouTube is the Greatness 19 channel. That's our educational channel to open up your third eye. So like, subscribe, and share to the Greatness 19 channel, as well as Mr. Evolution of London, which is our health and wellness channel. So I need you guys to support that as well. Blue Nile Naturals. Blue Nile Naturals. Enter Blue Nile Naturals and uncover the best variety of organic products for skincare, healthcare, and well-being online. Blue Nile Naturals specialize in whipped body butters, handmade incense, and 100% organic essential oils. Blue Nile Naturals take pride in carefully selecting products that are alcohol and toxic free for our environmental conscious customers. I like to really take myself as a conscious customer. I know about the products. I mentioned that they've been established for over 30 years. Very good products, soaps, essential oils. I have some very good products, I have to say. You can shop to their worldwide selection of natural products for home and benefits for their wholesale discounts. And I do have to give this disclosure about Blue Nile Naturals. You can explore their unique selection of organic, toxic-free products with no synthetic ingredients for home use. Very good quality, I have to say. No question about it. You'll find them on Facebook as well. You can contact. I need y'all guys to contact and show your support for Blue Nile Naturals. Info at BlueNileNaturals.com. Telephone number 416-262-5929. Oh, excuse me, 5921. So I repeat that, 416-262-5921. Website, BlueNileNaturals.com. I'd like to give a warm welcome to Forever Green Landscaping Services. Yes, Forever Green Landscaping Services. For over a decade, Forever Green Landscaping Services has been transforming outdoor spaces across the GTA area with their expert hardscaping solutions. Their passion for creating beautiful, functional landscapes is matched only by their commitment to quality and customer satisfaction. Specializing in hardscape, they bring your vision to life with precision and care, ensuring every project stands the test of time. And I'd like to give you some of their services. What they do, very important. Interlocking, sod installation, concrete services, deck and fencing, retailing walls, sprinkler systems, asphalt services, railings, tree services, just to name a few. You need a free quote? Contact them 416-844-6524. Again, that's 416-844-6524. And you can check out their website, www.forevergreenlandscaping.ca. Again, that's www.forevergreenlandscaping.ca. Telephone number is, once again, 416-844-6524. And that's for Forever Green Landscaping Services. They service throughout the GTA area. So you definitely can go online, check out their services. So you can't go wrong. I was checking them out, and I had some friends also have dealt with them in the past. They do very good quality work in North York, Etobicoke, Mississauga, Brampton, York Region, Markham, Woodbridge, and Scarborough. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Again, you can't go wrong. Now, the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, Spotify for creators, Amazon Music, just to name a few. So any information I haven't mentioned will be in the description box of the Oracle 19 podcast, the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London, both of those on YouTube, of course. Rumble.com, just type in the Oracle 19. And finally, www.theoracle19radio.com. All right, let's get right to it. The business aspect of things I had to, as always, go through. The soft girl era. The soft girl era. What do I mean? What do Mr. Greatness mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Now, in this era, there's a growing number of young women that want to be more feminine, straying away or pushing aside that boss chick energy. You can find them on social media, want to practice being more feminine. And that's what they call the soft girl era. More and more young girls is trying to practice this, but a lot of men are very skeptical of this soft girl era. And I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical of that too, because modern day females, not women, because 2% of women, in my opinion, is very good. They always going to practice that soft girl touch, I will say, that feminine side, being more feminine, being more womanly, the 2%. So this excluding the women. The females, the 98% of the females, I have to question. And a lot of men do question this. Because you have a lot of women that practice all of this masculine energy, this boss chick energy, even to this day and time. And a lot of women know that it's not working out for them in their life. So men is question whether they switching up so they can deceive men. And then when they got the man in their corner, then they switch back to that boss girl vibe, that boss girl or boss chick energy. Now, a lot of you might not know what I'm getting at with this, but walk with me. It's just, this is dealing with relationships. My personal opinion of what I see on social media, but it is a growing number of females that's practicing more and more of this feminine side. And if they legit with that, if they mean well, if they really trying to practice that, then kudos to them. There's nothing wrong with that. They should. Women should practice more being more feminine than being more masculine. And a lot of times it have a lot to do with, it always starts from the beginning. Why modern day females in this day and time is not practicing being more feminine. If you look at their mamas, it always starts with that. Look at their grandmothers. And that will tell you a lot of things about these modern day women. Look at their friends who they hang with. It's a character thing. It will show you a lot about who these women are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can Google that, this soft girl era. And it is is a thing that is growing, or hopefully is growing, but it is women, young women out here that's practicing it. But unfortunately, you have a lot of women that is also practicing being masculine, this feministic boss chick energy. Now, I was just seeing different clips on social media, like Michelle Obama she has a podcast, and a lot of women have podcasts, but I was just listening to just her energy. Now, again, I could be wrong. Mr. Greatness could be off, and I'm just using her as an example. It's more of a feministic energy, that makes sense. Feminist energy that I think she has. Independent energy. No, strong, independent woman energy. No, it's not me hopping on her, but she just popped in my head when she was with she had a podcast, and she had a Diana Ross daughter, Tracy Ross, and just listen to how they was talking. Both older women, they all in the 50s. One, Tracy Ross, I think, is like 52, and Michelle Obama's like, well, I think 61 or something like that. Now, I'm going to bring it back to the soft girl era, but I'm just giving you the comparison. When you're dealing with older women set in their ways, there's no soft girl era with them. You know, they already set in their ways. They're not trying to listen to a man. And these type of women would interject their ideologies to the younger girls, younger females. My personal opinion. And this is why you have these young girls have this boss chick philosophy. And what all of this equates to is them being alone. Now, I was talking to my daughter. We pretty frank about a lot of things, and we talk very deep. And I'm glad to say for now, we're on the same accord, and she understands a lot of things I tell her, because she's a teenager that is at the present time, that she's seen the world for what it is, and she's growing to. She sees older women in her family, on social media. She's one that a lot of times point out to me certain women on social media with that certain energy. And even she, very mature for her age, admits that she can't really learn anything about these older women that have this independent boss chick philosophy. And she, even out her mouth, refuses to really listen to their philosophies. Because a lot of times these women, as she will point out, that they by themselves, they single, they got no man, and they will never get a man. This is something my daughter will say and have said. So she don't follow those type of women. She picks up certain things, maybe just certain little things, but not in terms of philosophy. And a lot of times, even these older women that have a man, they married, certified married, they still have that feminist ideology. And this is why a lot of times the man is doing his thing and she's doing her thing, even when they marry. And there's a lot of signs, and I just use Michelle Obama as an example for whatever it is. Again, I'm on the outside looking in, but there are signs of her being independent, that independent feministic type of ideology. And I will go over the top to say, I would even go over the top and say, she's not submitting to her husband. She don't give full submission to her husband. She feel that one time a comedy skit by Chris Rock, a woman, if he's the quarterback, she gotta be the quarterback too. She can't play her position. I know family members of mine, women in the family, that is very feministic. They believe they're not trying to submit to man. And I can give you a sign of men and ladies, you can listen. If you how well you can submit to your man, or how much you will submit to your man. I'll give you an example. Can you say the word obey? That automatically makes you itch, independent women. Can you say I obey my man? You don't want to hear the word obey. You'll say I might listen and take his information and consider it, but I just won't necessarily obey. I don't like that word obey. And right there is a sign that you can't take instructions. My opinion. Even though I could take the word obey, because you might say, I'm not a dog. It has nothing to do with that. And I'm going to break that down in a few minutes. How about the word listen? You will say, I might. Feminist women will say, I might consider his information, might consider. But I won't necessarily say I will take it all in. I think about it. All of these trigger words. You can't be submissive. So this soft girl energy, this soft girl era is really for the few ladies, not the many. Because most ladies, they don't want to submit to their men. That's a cold reality. Especially in certain other communities. There's more of a major problem than others. I leave it as that. You see, ladies, especially you independent women, you can go to the job, and I give this illustration have given in the past. You don't like the word obey, listen, follow. You have to be by his side, or you got to be in front of him. But it's a funny thing. You go to the job. Yes, I'm going right there. You can listen to that male boss. He tells you, or the company, you have to be at this job by 9 o'clock, non-negotiable. You have to obey. Matter of fact, they have, in some of these jobs, they got little booklets, basically like the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt obey. You coming in here 9 o'clock and leaving at 5. You better, you obey. Thou will get paid on Friday. You understand that. You listen. You obey. Thou should be at lunch. Take lunch at 12 o'clock, not 1 o'clock. Thou shalt obey. Thou shalt obey the boss's authority every day, all day at work, Monday through Friday. Thou shalt obey. And that's in the rule books of the job. They put it in different words, different adjectives, whatever. Let's go with the law of the land. Thou shalt not steal, kill, is in the laws of your state and province. You must obey the laws. You must, if you drive in your car, can't drive when there's a red light. You must obey. And you obey, independent ladies. You obey the job, you obey the laws. Another man give you laws, a group of men put down laws, you obey it. You even accept that the word obey in the law or at the job. Listen, obey, follow. These are in your rule books at your job. And I'm back and forth from the job to the law. But funny thing is, you cannot handle obeying your man. The man that you sleeping with, the man that you have children for, the man that you've been married to maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you don't want to hear the word obey. Funny thing. And that man, even the double down, might be a little older than you. Usually men is older than their women, the normal flow of life. They older. You can't even obey your elder. You go obey another elder, but you can't obey your man that is your elder, a little older than you. Whether he's a year, 2 years, 3 years, he's still older than you. I'm talking about the natural flow of life in terms of relationship. Usually a man is older than a woman. Now, yes, there's exception to the rule. I understand that is the reversal, but I'm talking about the natural flow of life. Usually is a man older than the woman and taller than the woman. I mean, the natural flow of life, okay? Follow me, understand me, okay? There are exceptions to the rules, so let's not get simple. I understand this, but I'm just talking the natural flow of life. You can't even obey your man that is a little bit older than you, and really, if he's older than you, he is your elder, technically. You can't even obey him. So that's why it's no structure. So this soft girl era is very limited, unfortunately. Very unfortunate, but it is fact. But I like to see it. Hopefully it will grow. But this is such a negative world, and negativity that's being injected as women is first. They boss chicks. They don't have to listen to a man, and even it goes down to their daughters. Daughters don't have to listen to their fathers. That's interjected in social media, at schools, everywhere. Because he's a man, he's not important. So at a young age, it's injected in young girls. Don't have to respect a man. Don't have to obey their fathers. But yeah, they have to. You must. My daughters must obey their father. It's non-negotiable. They know that. Don't get it twisted. I said to them, if they don't want to obey, look, the door is always for them. You don't have to associate with your father. It's okay. Because obviously I am not, you don't believe in me or my authority, or you don't respect my authority, whatever. That's okay. The world is for you. It's a big world. But down the road, you will obey something. Will obey a man in some form or fashion. When you go to a job, and who's the owner? A man. You will obey him, and you will accept his rules in his handbook. Obey, listen, follow, and you do it quite comfortably because you want that check. You will obey the laws that was given, that man or men have written down, and you will respect those laws, and you will follow those laws, and you will obey those laws. But you can't obey the person that gave birth to you, or you can't obey your husband. That don't make sense to me. You can obey everybody else, but for a woman that slept with a man and have children with the man, or still married to the man, or that might be their boyfriend, you cannot obey him, but you can obey different other men. Do you see the understanding? Does that make? Do you see the logic? So the soft girl energy, again, is limited, very limited. But it is what it is. And I think men, this is where you have to look at reality. Hopefully these young girls you can save. There might be a chance for a few of them. But these older women, they done. These older women that they 50 years old and they still trying to wrestle. I got that in my family. They 40, 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, still trying to wrestle. I ain't trying to listen to a man, and I ain't trying to deal with his ish and stuff. You wrestling with that idea, and you 50, 60, 70 years old. Well, I mean, men, let me tell you something. Don't bother trying to invest in an older woman. She might be good just to sleep around, just to pass the time away. But even that is a headache. You trying to wrestle with the idea. She might look good, but you wrestling with the idea, trying to invest in an older woman that's stuck in her ways and not going to change. She ain't going to change for you. She ain't going to be soft and tender for you. She cannot have any children for you if you're trying to meet her at this stage in her life. She got years of bitterness, decades of bitterness. And my young guys, I know you thirsty. You see the older women because they know how to bake bread and butter biscuits, and they know they've been through life experiences. But you cannot just invest. See, the older women won't want to deal with you young men because you got the energy and vigor. You can make her feel young. And I know I'm out off the topic of the soft girl energy, but I'm tying in all this in together. So walk with me. You just cannot invest, young men. I know you just want something, a mama, you want to have that mama energy, but you cannot, it's not a good look. If you want an old woman just to pass the time away and stuff, because most likely she knows how to keep herself clean, hopefully at this, because she's experienced. All right, I'll give you a little pass on that, but just know, and then also she's old, so you can shoot the club. I say this in clean terms. You can shoot the club in her, and she ain't getting pregnant. So that's just free reign. If you want to be a savage, I get it. I've been there. I know. I get it. But it's just not a good investment because her energy. Just know, just go and do what you have to do. I know it's not logical what I'm saying. Personally, I would say just stay away from the older women. But if you do want to do that, just know don't young men try to think about marrying that old woman. Please don't. Please don't. Because majority of these older women, they set in their ways. They on their decline. You ain't really getting nothing out of it. You can't start a new family. You most likely taking care of her or looking after her kids, or if she got big kids, they your age, so you can't do nothing for them. She's somebody's nana. That's another thing. So would you, as 20-something-year-old, deal with a 40-something-year-old, and she's already a 50-year-old, and she's a grandma? Now you 25, you a step. Do you want to have the title of step grandfather at 25? Do you want that title? Step granddaddy at 25? Ew. I don't even want that now at my age. Ew. I got deep rooted problem if I'm dealing with someone at my age. Ew. And she might have that feeling. This feeling is mutual. Because there's no soft girl energy with that. There's nothing tender about that. Nothing sophisticated. It's just what it is. It's old. It's washed up. So that's the reality. They don't want to listen. And then you see these podcasts where these older women going to talk about, oh well, if it's a man, probably like myself, that just have that what in their mind, that caveman mentality. They ain't not trying to hear that. That's cool. You got that right. But the difference between me and them is I can always, as long as I keep here's a reality with men, especially men of a certain age. I can always get a younger chick. As long as I keep myself physically fit and financially fit, and I'm a trendsetter and stay a super duper cat, of course, I can always get younger women. And somebody to want to deal with me righteously. There's always a market on this planet Earth. It's a better market for me finding a younger woman than you legitimately finding a younger guy. Legitimately. Because you do have a market all over this planet Earth that men that's older, you got young women that will legitimately they like to deal with older men. And it's not all about being sugar daddy. I have better options than you as an older woman. So this is why a lot of these older women is not going to have this soft girl energy because they already bitter. I find it in my family. I find it around in the streets, social media. It's there. That's life. You younger women, a lot of times you follow the energy of the older women. And now a lot of you boss chicks that is younger, you done. You done even at your age. Mentally, physically. A lot of these girls is 25, 30, burnt out. Physically burnt out. Crash and burn at 30. No softness whatsoever. And men, you need to look out for this because this is a fast track out here in these streets. And these younger girls is doing things at a fast rate, at a younger rate. They already in teenagers and they already doing wild and crazy stuff. So by the time they 20, there's no soft girl energy. It's misery. You know how many of these females out here, just how you gonna be this soft girl energy? They don't even know how to sit. They drinking 40s, six packs, 2 4s. Beers I'm talking about. They drinking more like men. They smoking every day, vapes, weed and mushrooms and shrooms and mollies, popping pills and all of this stuff, just deteriorating their body. So there's no soft girl energy. You can't have no soft girl energy from a crackhead, a weed head. Really? I don't know. Maybe you tell me. A heavy smoker? Can you really have a soft? Does she have soft girl energy? A heavy drinker, a heavy weed smoker? Does she have soft girl energy? That's my question. I haven't met, if any, too many females that is heavy weed smokers having that soft girl energy. Knowing how to sit, knowing how to carry themselves, feminine, willing to obey their man, and have no problem if saying the word, yes, I'll obey my man. And you a weed head? Ah, I don't see it. I haven't really found that. I have to go back in my mental Rolodex to really say if these women that taking drugs and stuff are feminine or willing to have that soft girl energy. And you men, you need to really stop being so thirsty for these women out here. And also the deception, because you have these women that they know their options are dwindling, so they're trying to switch it up. And I see videos that this woman trying to act, I think she was on Instagram trying to act soft and feminine, and she got tattoos all over her chest and body. That's not soft girl energy. That's deception. And you men gotta really analyze that. Females that have all these tattoos all over their body, that's more, women that have all of these tattoos, that's biker energy. That's masculine energy. So just them having that, how can they be feminine and they have all of these tattoos? Are there exceptions to the rules? There's always exception to the rules with everything. You could drive a car with your feet, but that's not the norm. So I'm trying to, you might say, well, Mr. Greatness, I got this example. I know my auntie, she got tattoos. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about the majority. Certain signs you can pick up, men. All of the tattoos, the weed smoking, the coke snorting, heroin taking, the Molly popping, the oxy taking, the Percocets. Would this produce feminine energy? Women that have all of these crazy colors in their hair, are they feminine? There's signs. Women dressing like whores. Is that feminine energy? Women that have dirty houses. Is that feminine energy? Women that don't take showers, not clean. Is that feminine energy? And you men, we gotta stop being like savages and gutter rats, and because we can act like gutter rats too. Just want to bring these type of women in our midst. And I use myself as that. That's what I said, reform savage. Still on the 12 step program. You know, you try to do better. That's why I'm talking about it. That's why I can talk about it, because I lived it. And I say that to you young men, so you don't have to do the degenerate things that I have. And you could spot a real woman with soft energy, tender energy. And most of these women out here, they not feminine, they deceptive. The transformers, deceptive ones. You know, in a weird way, and I'm not saying never partake with this, just to show you how backwards this world is. Your trans women, which is your men, have more feminine energy than the ones out here. That is so weird. Now, I don't support that person. But reason why the trans women have more of the feminine energy, because they trying to prove themselves as passing to be women. In a weird way, they more feminine than the real women. That is crazy. That is insane. That shows you that this world need to crash and burn. There's no standards. There's no parameters. This is the soft energy, soft girl era. But that's what it is. That's what it is. And men, you have to understand, a woman that's a party woman, always at the club, grinding with different men, letting men feel them up. It's that soft girl energy, being feminine. You as a man a young man out here, you have to think with your head, the one that is above your neck, of course. This is why we can't progress as men, because we don't stand on business. We definitely have to do better. In a lot of cultures, the men, they understand that. Unfortunately, I would say even my culture is not the type of women, it's an issue with that, and that's work in progress. But I would say of the men of my culture, race, you have to stand on business. And if the woman don't want to obey you, you have to have the abundance mindset. The door is for her. You don't have to go through changes and argue with the woman to be feminine. She should already be. And if you got to train her up to be feminine, you're going to have a problem. She already supposed to have that embedded in her when you meet her. And if she follows the criteria as I mentioned in terms of being a not feminine woman with her vices and her feminine ways, you don't need to deal with her. She just for recreational purposes only. Make sure you strap up with a condom and make sure you don't get her pregnant, especially if she's a younger female. Look at these videos, these TikTok videos and other social media platforms, and you got older women out here twerking. Is that feminine? They out here clubbing. Is that feminine? They talk about they need what their requirements of a man, and they 40, 50, 60 years old, 70 years old. You being on social media, you being seen, and you want to be a boss chick. Is that feminine? Feminine women don't want to be seen like that, like my personal opinion, unless their man want them out there. Or unless you have some type of profession, you're a professional, right? You have to be out there, whatever. But even if you're a professional, you could be feminine. Give you an example. Jane Kennedy, one of the most beautiful women that I have seen. Now she was with her husband. There was a little scandal, but I'm not even going to get into that part. But overall, Jane Kennedy, very classy woman, feminine, know how to conduct herself. That's just what popped up in my head. And the point is, Felicia Rashad, woman on the Cosby Show, she just exudes being feminine. My personal opinion. We all have things about us, not a perfect world, nobody's perfect, but she it just resonates class. And class brings a soft girl energy. Feminine. Especially on the Cosby Show. I really liked her on the Cosby Show. I took her like my mom, that type of energy, because she exudes just being feminine and classy, professional. I like that. That's what a woman should be. But you won't find that in this day and time. Mothers, they don't show class and being feminine. Matter of fact, they scoff at being feminine. They think that's crazy. They need to be them. And you should allow them to be them. Leave them be. In the past, I used to try to change some of these women, especially that was around me, trying to make them something that they're not. And that's something you young men, you have to understand. You can't change these women. Don't try to change these women, make them, spend all that energy to try to make them feminine, make them what you want them to be. They just, that's what they are. And at this stage in my life, I'm not trying to change a living soul. Only just trying to deal with my children if they want to listen. And if they don't want to listen, like I said, the door is always for them. That's the level I'm on right now. If they do want to listen, we cool. I can coach you up to be the young woman you need to be. If you don't want it, I'm not going to force you. You could be wherever you want to be. But you don't have to deal with me. I just give you a pound and just say, hold it down. That's the level I'm on. I don't try to even change the women in my family. If you want to be who you want to be, the Lord bless you. I got no problem. I keep my distance and I live my life. Stress kills. Men, remember that. You burn yourself out mentally to deal with a woman that don't want to be feminine. She don't want to listen to you. And she rejects the soft girl energy. So you just leave her alone. Leave her alone. Let her be what she needs to be. Be the best version of yourself. There's plenty of women around this planet Earth, in your town, your state, your city, your province, your village. There's always somebody. Might be limited, but the beautiful thing is, even you might say, I'll give you an example. In Brooklyn, New York, where I'm born and raised. Yeah, there's a lot of trashy women in Brooklyn. It's a big city, New York City. But not all women in Brooklyn is trash. You can find quality women in Brooklyn. That's just Brooklyn. Maybe was the population 4 million people in Brooklyn. Maybe let's say about 2.5, or I say 2.8 million people in Brooklyn is women. Maybe 1.2 might be men. Is that ratio? Maybe 3 million people is women and 1 million is men. Something of that. 1 out of 4. Again, 1 out of 4. There are women that you will find that would be feminine. A few, maybe not a lot, but there's always a market. But men, just be the best version of yourself. And then the women, will gravitate. You'll find that women that gravitate towards you. And just be patient. Because this is a negative world. Just focus. If you focus on yourself, men, and keep your mind busy, you'll be all right. But you need to be the best version of yourself. A lot of times, men, we don't realize that when you're busy, you're on your grind. The days go faster. Days, moves. This is a side note. You're not thinking about what a woman should be or should do, and she should follow your lead, and you want to force her to follow your lead. You got to work. You got to make money. You got to work out. You got to take care of your body, inside and out. You need to eat right. You need to have other side hustles. When you moving and shaking, those days whip by. You can't deal with a woman. It's something like Drake. He was on social media. And I'm paraphrasing. He's into the music industry. He liking music. He's the captain of his ship. I'm paraphrasing what he's saying. And he don't have time, to really teach a woman, to follow his lead and so forth, so on. If she's not already accepting his brand and accepting him and liking what he likes, then he'd rather be by himself. And I know more and more men is getting on that level, which is a good thing. There's so many things. Look, you don't need the aggravation if you can't have that woman that is not soft and tender. It's a waste. You should be on your grind. She should be soft and tender. Another. Oh, well, I should say another avenue, another aspect. I should say, thank you. Another aspect of feminine, a soft feminine woman would be if she want to follow your lead. She want to help you in your business, your brand, build you up. Because by building you up, she's always going to be straight. And here's a golden nugget for you ladies that want to be boss chicks and so head over heels to be feminine. You know, if you want to get more from a man, and a few women is trying to do it, that's why they got this soft girl era. If you are soft and feminine, the man is going to give you much more than you being feministic and hardcore and a boss chick. It's the golden rules, been going on since the test of time. A soft, tender, soft-spoken woman can get more than you harsh, high testosterone type of women. That's just facts. Men going to gravitate towards a soft and tender woman and do more for her. But you don't get it because your brain is wired to be hardcore. That's why you have these few women out here that is trying to practice this. But again, some men in the beginning of the conversation, beginning of the show, I was mentioned that some men is very on the fence with that because you see women all tattooed up on social media and all of a sudden they want to say I'm feminine. Red flag. Red flag. You want to see there's a woman that want to be feminine, but she's still dressing like a whore. Red flag. See, so there's deceptions that's going on. So again, this soft girl era, men still, a lot of men still don't trust the process. We just watch. But I'm giving you the game, men, to look after these signs and don't overextend yourself for these women. If this woman is really feminine, she's more than willing to follow your lead, to work to build up your brand legitimately, and willing to, you could throw some adjectives to her. I need you to obey me. I mean, I got some other words and other techniques because you got women out here that will say, "Yeah, I will obey my man." That's just a talking point so they're not really feminine, but they just talking that I'm willing to obey my man so they can get more out of the game. But I got some other little techniques that I can't give all of my game to, because I put it like this: if you feminine, really feminine, you will be willing to give your body, spirit, and soul to me. Now I know women will say you are controlling and stuff. No, but I must know if you're really about this. Because if you're not willing to give your body, spirit, and soul to me, in a way, I know I have techniques to get that out of you. Then I know you're full of nonsense. There's always ways. Women will expose their hand. They might try to hide it for a couple months, 2 or 3 months, but human nature will eventually come out and they will show themselves. You are feminine. You're not going to be getting numbers from different men. You're not going to be hopping in different cars different men's cars. I don't care if you're coming from work or not, and they taking you home and all of this other stuff. You don't. You want to be respectful if you're a feminine woman. I'm just saying that I know there's exception to the rules, and I can break that down, but I'm not going to break that down. I could be breaking down that forever. But men, pay attention to the woman that you're with, or the woman or women's you're trying to hang with or want them in your inner circle. Because a lot of these women are wolves in sheep's clothing. They just show you these things, and then when you with them, they show you their real self. And again, I'm not trying to, and you shouldn't try to make a woman have the soft energy. She should just be. You can help her add on, but she should have that in her. She should have class, high standards for herself, know how to carry herself, know how to walk, know how to talk, know how to keep her house clean, know how to take care of her man, know how to be mentally fit, physically fit, spiritually fit, have a sense of the Most High, believing in a supreme being, the Most High, respecting the man principle. She still can hold up her head high even if the word obey come in the mix. Yes, and she obeys her man. These are some of the signs. And most modern day females, they're not trying to hear that. So the question is, men, is your woman part of the soft era movement, or is she a wolf in sheep's clothing, or is she just a straight up feminist? I'm gone.